Where did all the Bafferts go? Trust the Profits. It's the formula here. We're going to talk about the San Felipe Stakes, which is going to be run this weekend, March 4th. Before we do, let's talk about tip sheets. We do have tip sheets. You can purchase them through YouTube. There's two different options. You can get a full month for $20. That's less than a tip sheet for $2. Pretty good deal. The data you see here, we've got all sorts of stuff that we put together, closing numbers, pace numbers, all sorts of good stuff. So go ahead and check that out. Become a member. Support Trust the Profits. Thank you very much. Moving on, let's talk about San Felipe. It is going to be run on March 4th at Santa Anita. It is a G2, 8.5 furlongs, 11 horses entered. A lot of them with the name Tim Yakteen next to them. I'll tell you which ones were the Baffert horses coming up in a second here. But first, let's talk about Chase the Chaos. Look at that. 3 wins, 2 second places, and 1 third place finish. Winner of the El Camino Real Golden Gate Park. I do like that that is a 9 furlong race. I think that that sets up really nicely for Chase the Chaos long term. That he had a nice little win there over Gilmore by 1.5 lengths, charging hard down the stretch there too. Previous to that, he did win a 31K allowance race at Golden Gate, 7.5 lengths ahead. So that's nice to see as well. Seeing that distance there, he checks a lot of boxes for me. Came in second at the Gold Rush Stakes, losing to Passorendo by 1.5 lengths there. Chase the Chaos, National Treasure, first Tim Yakteen horse, Baffert in parentheses. This is an interesting horse here. Came in third. I say that a lot, right? Came in third at the Sham Stakes, which did not impress me at all. To Newgate and Reincarnate. I mean, he was 1 length behind, but this is a horse that we've seen run at the BC Juvie. Came in third there to K Rock and Forte by 3 3/4 lengths. Um, wasn't up in the pack with those two, obviously, but this is a horse that just keeps coming in second, third place in some really big races. Hard to discount him, but hard to get excited about him too. I've got this irrational dislike for this horse. It is hard for me to get on top of National Treasure, but let's take a look at this field and see if we can make a play for him. Practical move. 2-1 and 2 lifetime in 5 races. Most recently, 8.5 Los Alamitos Futurity. Um, Sparse field there, so it's hard to get excited about that. He did win by 3 1/4 lengths over Carmel Road, Fort Bragg, Arabian Lion. Came in third at the Bob Hope, a 7 furlong race, losing to Having a Meltdown and Newgate. So the big question here is once you get into a bigger field, how does Practical Move handle that? I mean, we've seen a couple 5 horse races, 6 horse races, big stakes races for Practical Move, but what happens when he bumps up? And this is a Tim Yakteen, but not a Baffert horse, by the way. Bluegrass Go Go, 01 and 0 lifetime best race is a second place finish. 7 furlongs, 42K maiden race has yet to break his maiden. Insta toss. Move along. Next up, Genius Jim. 1 win. Had 4 maiden races. Finally broke his maiden on the 4th one. Impressively, he did go 9 furlongs in that race. Wire to wire win over a field of 11, winning by 3 lengths. So say what you will about taking time to break his maiden. He did it in a pretty impressive way. Raced mostly on turf, though, aside from his first race out, a 6 furlong race at Santa Anita. So, horse moving over to turf, from turf to dirt. He took the distance. Hard to get a good readout on Genius Jim, especially with 11 horse field. So, we're moving along here. Crypto Ride, 1 win, 1 second place. 2 third place finishes last race. Non impressive third place, 6 furlong finish. Previous to that, 5 lengths behind in the California Cup Derby. He did go the distance, though, 8.5 furlongs, finishing in 4th place, 5 lengths behind Thirsty John. Um, in both 8 and 8.5 furlong races he's had, he has faded down the stretch. You can see he's like losing lengths in those races, so I'm not exactly excited about Crypto Ride here. Hijazi, this is a horse that a lot of people get excited about. It's a Baffert horse now in the Yakteen stables. 1, 2, and 1 lifetime. Just broke his maiden last time, going 6 furlongs, beating Worcester by 1 1/4 lengths. Previous to that, finished third, 8 lengths behind Cave Rock and National Treasure in the American Pharaoh. Um, yeah, that was really the only big test for Hijazi above 6 furlongs. He started to fade versus Cave Rock and National Treasure. I don't get as excited about Hijazi as a lot of other people do. But in this race, is there enough talent to push him out of the top three, top four? We'll have to wait and see. Spoiler alert, right? Go Rocket Ride. So one race, 6 furlongs, winning by 5 3/4 lengths. Richard Mandela, a lot of you remember from last year, Richard Mandela brought out Forbidden Kingdom, and he was railing on all these Baffert horses. Had some pretty impressive workouts lately, so he is trying to stretch it out. He went for a 6 furlong workout, went 1:12.80. Um, Not a lot to say on him because he doesn't have that much of a record here, but the one race he did have, he won with an impressive beating there. Go Rocket Ride, a fun one to watch here, especially if you need to get off of all the Yak horses. Fort Bragg. Speaking of Yak horses, 2 wins, 2 third places in 4 races. Looked good until the Los Alamitos Futurity, where Practical Move did take over, beat him by 7.5 lengths. Previous to that, he broke his maiden 8.5K race, 8.5 furlong race, 61K maiden race, beating Reincarnate by 3/4 of a length. So distance doesn't seem to be an issue for Fort Bragg here, but is talent going to be an issue? Can he handle a G2 crowd? We'll see. Skinner, 1 win, 1 3rd place in 4 races, broke his maiden last time out after racing in two G1s. What happened in those G1s, though? The American Pharaoh, 28 lengths behind Cave Rock. 3rd place at the Del Mar Futurity. We're going way back now, but 9 lengths behind Cave Rock there. Obviously, there's no Cave Rock in this race. Cave Rock is off the Derby Trail, as far as we've heard. He hasn't moved from Baffert Barns, so we're assuming Cave Rock is gone, but there's other horses to worry about for Skinner in this race. And finally, Mr. Fisk, another Baffert horse moving over to Yactine. So 1 win, 1 place in 3 races. Most recently broke his maiden, going 1 mile, beating Harlecap, a horse that we talked about, I believe, in the Southwest Stakes. Horse that I was kind of interested in, but did not fare well for me there. Came in 2nd place in a maiden race before that in Del Mar. Second to Reincarnate in that race. 3/4 behind, going 1 mile. Interesting horse here, but again, there's a lot of talent in this race. Does Mr. Fisk make the cut? No, he does not. So the safe bet here, National Treasure. If you want to go for a value pick, it was a toss up for me here between Go Rocket Ride because I'm getting Forbidden Kingdom flashbacks from last year. I like Go Rocket Ride. I like Chase the Chaos too. I didn't want to jump right on top of him because of that Golden Gate win. Um, but yeah, if I'm going to go safe, I'm going to say National Treasure. This is your time to win a G2. Go Rocket Ride could end up being the surprise here, so I'm going to put him as my value. And then I'll key on National Treasure. Go Rocket Ride is added in. Chase the Chaos is added in. And I do like Practical Move here, like the true Yactine horse. There's a couple other horses that I thought could make the cut here. It was pretty even at that top five. You could play around with a few of those, but this is the top four I went with. So, what say you people? What do you have in your top four, top five, top three? Who's your top horse in this race? Is it a good race? Let us know in the comments. Please hit that subscribe button. Click the join button if you do want to see what our membership options are. And thank you always for watching. We love you guys. See ya.